Welcome to Behind the Canvas podcast, where we get to highlight the person behind the craft as well as the craft itself. I'm your host for today, Q. And as always, I have my team here with me. I got my boy Zell.
Yo.
I got my boy B-More.
What's good?
And we have the beautiful lady Khadijah, depicting the entire scene on canvas, which we would show at the end of the show. Today we have Nicole. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. We're excited to have you here today.
I'm happy to be here.
So for the viewers who don't know you, please tell them a little bit about yourself.
Yes, so I'm Nicole Belgrave. I'm a licensed mental health counselor. I currently work in the Bronx full-time doing school clinical management with high school kids, and on the side, my business is my private practice where I work with adult clients.
Okay. Excited to have you here today.
Thank you.
Okay. So what pushed you to actually start your business?
Yes. So what really got me involved in mental health counseling was just navigating through not only undergrad but graduate school, looking at how we don't talk about therapy, we don't talk about mental health, and just seeing how it played a role in my actual community. So that's what really kind of encouraged me to ask the questions of like, okay, so what happens? What makes us turn to certain things? What makes us kind of keep things to ourselves? And what happens when history repeats itself? And that's how it all started.
So with your name, how did you come up with GingerAleWontFixThis?
Funny enough, right? When I was thinking about the name, I was thinking about how I grew up in a Caribbean household. So everything is tea. Like your stomach hurt, your head hurt, drink some tea. And I'm like, tea is not really it. But whenever your stomach hurts, we also drink ginger ale. I know your parents keep a bottle of ginger ale in the cabinet, right?
Always.
And they're like, oh, your stomach hurt, your belly bubbling.
Boil some ginger.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's a fact.
So, in reality, though, like with mental health and, for example, with anxiety, we sometimes experience symptoms within our body, and ginger ale is not going to fix it. So that's how I came up with the name.
Okay.
So Nicole, when you say mental health therapy and everything like that, what does that mean? Like, coming from people outside and our viewers, like, what does that mean to you? What concept of services are you talking about? What kind of therapy are you talking about?
Right. So with mental health, it represents just what is all navigating within our well-being, and we highlight what happens in our environment, right? Like our environment also impacts our well-being. Genetics also impacts our well-being, and these are things that we don't always talk about when it comes to addressing mental health, right? Because when we hear mental health, we thinking taboo. We're thinking the stigma. We're thinking, oh, we're crazy.
Right.
But in reality, we're just checking in with ourselves and making sure that our cup is filled so we can show up in the world the way that we're expected to.
I like that. Our cup is filled. I like that. That is good.
Gems.
All right. So how is therapy beneficial?
So I would say, first and foremost, therapy is only beneficial if you're ready. Because what you bring to the session is what you work on, Like, it's a team effort. We're not here to tell you what to do. We're not here to solve your problems. We're here to really process what's going on so you can figure out what patterns are present. And then we get to the bottom of the solution, right? We really talk about how it makes you feel, as cliche as it sounds, but it's a lot deeper than basically sitting on the couch and just venting. Sometimes just talking out loud allows us an opportunity to see what's really going on. So I would say that's one of the benefits with therapy, but also therapy is just a safe, non-judgmental space to process all the things that are going on in your life.
Beautiful. Okay.
Well said. I ain't gonna lie, because I was thinking about therapy, but I was like, what happens if I go to the therapist and just lying? How's she gonna know what's really who I am? You feel me? I just know you within this hour or this two. What makes you think that person could really fulfill my shoes?
Right. And funny enough, we get that a lot, right? We get the question of like, you don't know what it's like. You know,
Right.
for example, I interned in a clinic that like worked with substance users. So they're asking me like, you don't know what it's like to get high, or like how to like find the drugs, or the things that you do to find the
Right.
drugs. But in reality, yeah, you're right. I'm not. But what's happening is I'm in this space with you to build trust with you and to process what made you go down that route. Right? I'm not here to be exactly who you are.
Right.
I'm here to let you know that it's okay to talk about it.
Okay.
And that's deep because you just identify, like, you don't have to experience certain traumas and issues that people went through to not process it. Processing is just making sure you filter whatever needs to be filtered through to a different channel of understanding.
Exactly. And I think also with just being a Black female therapist, we're not as rare as we used to, but we're pretty rare. Like
Right.
some of the founding fathers of the field are white cisgendered males. So I can imagine going in a space where your provider doesn't look like you. It sometimes feels like they don't really get you.
Right.
So what I'm grateful for, I'm able to take my experience as someone who grew up in a Caribbean household and apply it to the things that we don't talk about. The things that we don't talk about growing up are the things that we talk about here.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you said, taboo.
Big taboo.
Definitely. And you know, I appreciate you for sharing everything. So, with us saying that, and you kind of showcasing what you have, and you know, your thoughts on therapy and your services, we have a little game to kind of pull a little bit more out of you.
Okay.
All right. So these are the blank canvas cards. So
Let's get
essentially,
to it.
what we're gonna do is each card has a rule. We're gonna follow it to the T. You know, it's gonna be a couple shots in there, a couple actions, and we're gonna get the ball rolling. Kind of get a little bit behind the scenes action for you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got you. This is where I hang my therapist cape up.
Yeah, you gotta.
Now you could keep it on,
gotta
but
keep it
keep it,
aside.
you know, yeah.
Once
Put it on the shoulder just in
Put it
case
on
we
tilt
need
to
it.
Yeah, put it on tilt. Yeah,
Definitely.
tilt it real quick.
But before we start, shots.
That's what
You
we
guys
do.
I'm ready.
Right.
That's what we do. That's what we do. You know, behind the camera. This is
This
what
game
we
is active,
are.
as y'all can see.
Ah,
Like I
free
said, pay
game.
attention to them numbers.
Pouring up.
But how you feel though? Like coming on the show, how you feel so far?
I feel great. I feel blessed. Thank you
Okay.
for having me.
No
Like, I'm
problem,
truly
no
grateful
problem.
for
Thank
this
you for coming.
experience.
You know, this is definitely different, you know, for our environment. You know, we set this up lovely for you, you know what I mean? Like,
Very
I know. This is not our usual set.
yeah.
You put away the big table.
Yeah, we had to get serious.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
We
That's
always
appreciate
serious,
you.
first of all. We always serious.
Here you go.
But a different kind of delivery.
You're welcome.
All right, so let's do this.
All right, toast up.
Toast
All
up.
right, bombs down.
Ting.
Bottoms up, pulls.
Woo. All right, let's jump right into it. So, you can plug it first.
Okay.
Damn.
You good?
Yeah.
Friendly fire?
I'm gonna let you know what that's all about. You gonna point them out, and they gonna have to take a shot. That's simple like that.
Friendly fire?
Yes. How do we
Yeah,
say in the
take somebody, take a
Caribbean?
shot.
No face. Aim at the front of me, them.
Ooh.
That's how we started off, you know?
One
Right.
shot.
Yeah, that's how we
That-
Straight shots.
get straight to it, you know what I mean?
see. So, point them out.
Let's go, point them
Hey,
out.
brother, man.
We island people supposed to be like that.
Help them, help me.
Woman
I didn't grow up playing
Woman
spades,
is-
so I didn't get the quick
Help them,
wink,
help
you know.
me. Ah.
Like I
Ginger
said,
Ale won't fix that.
check
Yeah.
those numbers.
Period.
I'm crying. It's all right. It's all right, bud.
You know it's all love.
If you ever want to talk about it, she's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's
All
what's
right.
up. All right.
So
All right,
that
let's
was
see.
cool. That was cool.
Let's see what's
yeah,
going
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah.
ahead,
Like
like another
Jeopardy.
one.
Another one?
Yeah, another one.
Yeah. Okay. My nails.
You got it?
Okay.
Boom.
POV. WWYD. What would
Yes.
Jesus do?
So
Funny.
that's a good one. So pretty much it's point of view or what would you do?
Okay.
So we have a scenario for you.
Okay.
And we're gonna see what you would do in that perspective, right? So our scenario today is during a session, you feel like a client, is unhealthy and in a toxic relationship, right? But the client is deeply in love with the patient.
Okay.
What would you do?
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, I feel like we've all been there before, right? In a toxic relationship, or we're just in a relationship.
I'm sorry to cut you off. You just saying as in, right? Like, yeah, go agree?
So we put all the cards on the table. So we doing. But in reality, I would say, in all honesty, in the therapist role, I'm not gonna tell you break up with him, sis. I'm gonna be like, yo, what's going on? You know, I'm gonna have you paint the picture. I'm gonna have you bring out all the things that are going on, and we're gonna process them together, and we're gonna see, like, we're gonna weigh the pros and cons. Like, is it worth continuing or is it not? But at the end of the day, one of the things that keep us in certain situations is the fact that it's familiar. So what we're really talking about is having to potentially interrupt and break a pattern. You know, adjust a pattern that we've already gotten acclimated to. So that's going to take time sometimes. And sometimes they're like, all right, I'm done with him. Bye. And then we're like, peace. You know, monumental moments in the sessions, but it takes time to, you know, really process that.
Okay.
Okay, I like that.
Comfortable with patterns. I never thought of that. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
I'm telling you, once you look at things as patterns, I feel like you give yourself grace, but at the same time, you hold yourself accountable.
Accountability.
Heavy on that.
yeah,
Okay.
that's tough.
Beautiful. All right, so let's roll into the next card.
Got you. Therapy superpower.
All right. Now, in your field, right? As a therapist, right? What would be a superpower that you would use on your background?
I love this question because I feel like I get to show how corny I am. But like in reality, if I had like, I guess like a superpower or like a alter ego in a way, I would say I'm like mega metaphoria. QK,
Okay.
you know? So I'm gonna explain.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm over here like,
Right, he's like, I'm judging a little. But I would say, in my sessions and in what I do, I use a lot of metaphors because, you know, I could throw out words like CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, trauma, and things like that. But I like to keep things in plain language that's like easy to digest, right? So sometimes when we use metaphors, it allows us to, again, paint a picture where we all can see and we're like, oh, okay, I can see that happening. And one of my favorite things is to turn like moments from SpongeBob into little metaphors that make sense in life. Because I'm telling you, we grew up watching SpongeBob, but we did not know he was dropping gems on us.
That's a fact. I still watch it now.
Period.
I ain't gonna lie.
No funny though.
Timeless.
Squidward, the only real one on that show.
Squidward was the one really going through
Squidward I
life.
relate to. Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Not this shit again.
So,
Mr. Krabs gets in the bag.
yeah.
right? And SpongeBob teaches us to be optimistic. Remember when he was like, imagination?
Reset. That's a fact. That's a fact.
So that's why I came up with like mega metaphoria, you know, has to put myself in a Marvel comic real quick. And yeah, one of my superpowers would be to present a metaphor that helps you process the things that make a situation make sense.
Okay, that makes sense now.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah, that makes sense now.
It
like,
makes sense.
easy for them to digest. But like, instead
Exactly.
of going to
Making
the doctor,
it digestible,
right?
you know?
The doctors do be using some big words. You be like, all right.
Right. And then when he writes
Okay.
the script and it's not even legible, like
Yeah.
you're like, this is Jesus Christ.
And
What is he
True.
telling me?
Right. And
True.
those are like the foundation of learning itself. You brought it back to. It's like the more simple you make a concept, the easier the consumers can take it in. That's exactly what it is, right?
Right.
Like that.
Definitely. And I feel like you bring up a really valid point, because one of the things that we do talk about in therapy is the fact that some of the experiences we went through when we were younger, it takes a toll on us, and some of those things solidify in our mind. So now as adults, we're in this space where we're kind of rewiring those things. Right? Like they say our brain stops changing or developing around like age 25. So imagine all those memories and experiences from when we were younger. It's like solidified now. So now we're literally proving to ourselves that the positive thoughts that we do think can come true. Because, you know, imagine a kid going through bullying and they carry that to adult life, right? And they're like, dang, I can't do anything right. So now, instead of just saying, I wake up today and I'm like, okay, I'm going to say an affirmation, like, I believe in myself. We have to actually believe it. So that takes steps, like presenting the possibility that we could believe it. Then reaching the point where it's like, you know, it can happen because we've proven to ourselves that we can do it. Then it becomes the affirmation of like, I'm a badass and I'm gonna get it done. You know, so it's levels to it.
Do you feel like execution after the affirmations is a must? After you know, now it's just like I'm this kind of person. Do I need a small kind of victory to prove that, you know, lead into my belief? How do you feel about that? Like,
I would say it depends on your perspective, because somebody can see a small victory as not enough.
Right.
But if we see a victory as a victory, there's no amount to it. So you give yourself credit for it. You know, it's like really looking at how we look at things and how we process things. And
no, I hear that. We're gonna have to pour a shot for that. That was a note right there. off the whatever.
Not you want to pour more shots. See why she picked you.
I heard that because a lot of entrepreneurs can relate to that and stuff like that. I can relate to that type of perspective, because maybe they said, damn, my sales numbers didn't hit what they're supposed to do. I didn't get to promote these. You know, we look at numbers as a big thing, but if we didn't do anything, we'd still be at zero. So those are small victories people need to pay attention to and be able to, you know, lock in on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And I feel, interestingly enough, not to cut you off, there was a time and space where I didn't even see therapy as a business. I just knew it was something I was passionate about. So you bringing up the numbers, we also go through moments where there's like waves. There's moments where there's like, we get 5 consultation requests. Or for myself, I get like 5 consultation requests, and then there's moments where it's a dry spell. So literally, it's almost as if we're following the trend in what people are navigating through, right? So COVID was really heavy for individuals. Like, we were booked and busy, especially because we were able to provide the virtual sessions.
Right.
Yeah.
And now that there's a lot more hybrid options, or now that the world is opening up again, you'll start to see people like coming in or maybe phasing out, and we also go through waves, the same as like other businesses.
Well, Dr. Nicole, you gotta remember, them PPP loans is hit.
Shit, when I know we gonna take this shit.
All right.
It's moving like man to man out here.
Whew.
Ooh. All right. So we gonna dive into the next shot. Listen,
Oh, you're no longer cold. Yo, I was freezing earlier.
We're going to pick the next card.
Okay.
Any card, anyone. Alrighty now. Spin.
Spin,
Yeah.
spin, spin.
All right.
Uh-oh.
So you gonna do the plucking, not me. And whoever that spins on takes a shot.
Wow, I'm sitting over here. Wait until 2 in a row.
I just pluck it, right?
Yeah. And look like
Put it to the
you.
viewers. I gotta take a shot.
Audience gotta take a shot.
But we're gonna spin again.
But we're gonna spin again.
Okay. Let me try again.
She said, "Hey, I'm gonna hold the top for you. Go ahead."
Thank you. Not on myself.
Yes, man.
Man. You don't believe in
Self-inflicted
yourself, who
wounds.
will?
You can take a sip out your cup if you feel, you don't want to get you too lit.
She said she ain't backing down.
What
See,
is that?
What are you saying?
I got something. Boom.
Oh, yeah, finish it off.
Wow.
Bottoms.
Bottom.
I said down. Up, down.
All right.
Another active pregame.
Gosh, I ain't gonna hold y'all. Y'all got me activated, boy.
It's early in the day too.
Early.
Our usual shoot time.
Ginger Ale won't fix this.
Yeah, I see. It may settle.
Say that again. All right, so you can
Like
pick another
DJ
card.
Khaled,
Okay.
you gotta pick another one.
Another one.
Top 3.
So top three is all about Nicole's top 3 sessions she had. I'm talking about something memorable that she even grew from and learned from. So what are your top 3 stories? We don't gotta say no names. 'Cause
Yeah, because of HIPAA.
Client.
NDA's hit
HIPAA.
heavy,
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
me?
yeah, yeah.
But like, what are the top 3 stories that were told by you who like, not that it also like, oh snap, this happened, but like you learned from it and you was able to apply it to your other customers.
For sure. So I would say I'll keep it on theme of like events or themes that have taken place from my client experiences. The first one that comes to mind is when my clients quote me. That I'll be like, I said that.
Verbatim.
She's like, I got the notepad, you got the
Right,
notepad.
right. I'm like, I love when they come back to me and they tell me something that I said to them. That warms my heart because it's like, wow, I dropped a gem and you felt
Right,
like it was a gem. And we're able to process it. And it also shows that they were listening.
Yeah.
You know, so one of the things with therapy, you take what you need and you leave the rest. So it proved to me that they took something that they needed. And that feels so good. It's the reminder of what makes me do what I do. So I'm excited for that. So that's like one of the top 3. The second one would be when I have a situation where the client is maybe like defensive or like maybe they're crying and we're able to not end on the crying note, right? So I truly believe in if we open a wound, let's not put salt in it.
Right.
Like, let's find a way that we can clean it up, add some gauze, add some peroxide just to make sure that it's in a space where you're taking the things that we spoke about and then applying it to the rest of the week, not letting it kind of like damper your mood, but more so a reflection piece.
Kind
Because
of like starting a healing process.
exactly, because now we get to come back and talk about how do we navigate through the week after opening that wound. Right? And now we start to see the scab building up. We start to see the skin is coming back. You know, our white blood cells is coming to fix that wound. And we're really looking at, so what are the white blood cells in our life, right? Like, it could be our support system. It could be the things that we do for self-care. It could be knowing when to kind of say no. So these are the things that I enjoy being able to talk about with them.
Definitely.
And the third
I said no last
experience,
Boy, oh boy.
the third top 3 would be, I appreciate when like my clients give me testimonials. So I've navigated through working through group private practice and then working on my own. And some of my clients from when I first started you know, they want to follow me, so I either accept their insurance or I don't. But just hearing the feedback from them of them saying like, you know, you were a godsend, or you really helped me process through this. I would not have been able to do it without you, even though you know you're able to do it without me.
Right.
It's just I'm a compass in this whole experience, right? But them just giving me all that positive feedback lets me know what I can build on and what I can work on.
Right.
So the fact that they're like going out their way, not being asked to say like, you know, I'm really grateful for this experience, you've helped me through this, writing reviews, that means a lot to me, and it just adds to why I continue doing what I do.
That's
I
beautiful.
like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Don't hesitate to ask for help.
Exactly.
Your story needs to be heard.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
Don't wait. Get help.
I think you
Your
put that
story
on
needs to be
camera.
heard.
Yo.
All right, what we
All
got
right,
now?
so we're gonna dive into the final card.
Okay.
Drum roll.
The blank canvas rule.
All right.
Bop.
So this is a rule or a question depicted by you guys. You know, our faithful viewers.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. You guys been rocking it all season. So the one that we highly like is that panelists, us, will briefly share one of our favorite self-care or therapy tips that has helped them. Pretty much.
Run that back one more time.
So we are going to pretty much give our self-care or therapy tips. Pretty much letting them know like what we
Okay.
do.
Gotcha.
Right? So I'll start with myself,
Yeah.
left to the dealer.
Left to do it.
Alrighty
So
then.
pretty much for like self-care or like therapy, like if I'm feeling a type of way of doing anything, like I typically write music.
Okay.
Just to get all my emotions out there, Pretty much with music itself, it's kind of like you're depicting an essential feeling or a topic or, whatever you want to convey onto your writing or your lyrics or whatever, whatever you want to call it. So that's a good way to really get all your emotions out there and pretty much help you ease through the process.
Right.
So that's what I do.
I like that. I appreciate the whole writing experience because it's kind of like journaling, and I believe it really makes space in your mind to process or find a solution that you're looking for by being able to put it somewhere else.
Definitely.
I feel like my method would be either working out, anything that entails anything physical that can, exhaust me and stuff like that. Because sometimes the stress can build up and you just gotta let it out and stuff like that.
For
So
sure.
I feel like those would be my method.
For sure. And when our body releases endorphins, it definitely is like a mood booster. So I hear you on that.
All right.
Definitely. I feel y'all on that. I definitely feel y'all on that. My personal or self-care, honestly, I really don't know because like everything it's basically like depend on the mood. Like if I'm in an angry mood, like what's gonna calm me down, or if I'm in a mood that that I wanna give myself joy. You feel me? It's all different type of self-care that's gonna help me tune for the self. But on any God given day, I'm always filled with energy. Always, but it's never that anyone ever see me down unless it's been a long night, but never sad. Like, you feel me? Because life is hard already to just be walking around with a frown on your face and shit. So you gotta keep that momentum going and shit. And I think that's the reason why I keep myself going, and throughout life, shit that you have, dealt with, you gotta keep a chip on your shoulder. The guy's gonna keep you motivated to just gonna keep you going. And I think I just find that within the people that I'm around and the people that I surround myself with. But other than that, I'm always at work. Y'all can find me at work. But yeah, that's how I keep myself going. Keep myself around good people, good motivated people, as y'all can see.
Right.
And You know, like that's how I keep myself going.
Okay. I hear you with, doing what you can to kind of keep yourself motivated, keep yourself going, and it sounds like you keep yourself busy.
Yeah, yeah, cause not being productive, bad things, it leads to bad things.
Got you. Got you.
So yeah.
So it's something that you've acknowledged within
Yeah.
yourself, self-awareness.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely,
All
definitely.
right. I think one thing that I would add to like what all of you guys said, and I feel like it is important. I'm glad that you are able to highlight some self-care, but we've all heard about the 5 love languages.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So we got words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, acts
Gift.
of service,
And
and
gift
receiving gifts, right? So I think one thing that we can challenge ourselves with when we are feeling stumped with what to do with self-care is thinking of how we would love ourselves through our love language, right? So words of affirmation, how are we showing ourselves love? Or like, how are we affirming ourselves? What are we saying to ourselves when we're feeling down? How are we bringing ourselves up, right? Quality time. You mentioned spending time with people that you care about, with your bros and everything. Looking at how often do we spend time with the people who are in our support network versus how we spend quality time with ourselves, right? Receiving gifts. For me, I'm always going to treat myself to Starbucks or something. It always feels good.
Strawberry Saeed.
I'm more of a matcha girl.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a
All
matcha
right.
girl. But yeah, like that's just an example of like, receiving gifts or even buying myself flowers. I love flowers. So just to give you like a personal example, acts of service could be as simple as making your bed. As simple as making your bed or
Like chores.
yeah, or okay, it don't gotta be chores, but like let's reframe what
Right.
chores
I was
were.
just gonna say that, like, maybe sometimes we associate the wrong word to those activities or anything in general.
Because of the experiences that got concrete within our mind, and now we're here to reframe that.
I'm picking it.
He's doing the
lock
work.
in, like
He's doing the
'cause
work, and this is
now
day
it's
one.
making sense and it's all connecting dots, and
Yeah.
you definitely providing that clarity, and you just like
God.
once you associate a negative word to an action,
Yeah.
it becomes a job, becomes a problem, becomes a bill.
Exactly.
Nah, don't look at it like that. Maybe we should start looking at it in the optimistic perspective. Because you just said I don't like to be sad. I don't think of myself sad. But once which is something that I don't see in you ever, because you apply some kind of optimism. Like, hey, you got this, and this, but you still keep it pushing. At the end of the day, and based off of all other elements that happen in your personal life and anybody's life,
right?
You keep it going by saying, even if I got to take care of this, I'm still gonna go here and get that done and spend time with that person. So I definitely see what you're saying. That the association of words to the action is very important.
It's bringing up stuff, right? It's bringing up stuff that potentially our inner child has experienced.
Right.
So now, as an adult, we're like, maybe it's not a chore. Maybe it's showing our self-love by making up our bed. Right?
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because it may be that one day, like, I'm feeling good. I'll make my bed out today. I do see what you're saying.
You tell me, like, do you feel different? I don't know who you heard that from.
That's crazy, right?
Right.
Pause that.
Friendly fire was over.
Right. But I would say, like, ask yourself, how different do you feel when you just leave the house with your bed unmade versus when you make your bed up?
Right.
Because those 2 to 5 minutes that you spent making up your bed was 2 to 5 minutes that you spent with yourself.
True.
That you spent doing something for yourself.
That's a fact.
So that's a challenge, right? When we ever feel stumped, figuring out how we want to live our life through self-care, ask yourself what we can do through our love language. Not only when we do the things through our love language are we doing it for ourselves, but we're teaching the people around us how to treat us, when they also feel stumped.
I definitely hear that.
Okay. So now that we're finished with the game, we're just going to ask a few more questions to pull a little bit more out of you. Ready?
How you feeling so far?
I feel good, but I definitely have a question for y'all.
Oh, okay.
Because, I have my superhero ego on right now,
All right.
and I would love to know, like, what would y'all feel your superpower is?
If we had one,
Yeah.
I could go first. My superpower is that I'm very observant. Like I could observe a person really good. Based off that really identify, my making choices in life
Okay.
and stuff like that. So yeah.
What would your name be?
What would my name?
What would your name?
God damn. I don't know. It would just be regular because I wouldn't hide that, I'm an observant person. It's just that you coming to me and I know. So if you want to come to me, you got to step correctly. You feel me? So I wouldn't hide that as a superpower. Like, it's just like as if you see Batman.
Yeah.
You know you're a criminal. You feel me? Oh, Batman.
You already know what it is.
You already know what it is. You feel me? So that's how I see it. Like I'm not the to put a disguise on. Like what you see is what you get. You feel me? And it's like it's rather like you digging it or you not digging it. And then if a person comes towards me, like I see like a front on that person, it's like, nah, like the movement is weird. I can't really socialize myself with you because the first time you see the person is the first expression. You feel me?
Yeah.
And that's how I live. Met y'all.
Right.
Feel
What
me?
about you?
This is a hard one for me. I think my superpower would be like vision, I guess. Vision in the sense of like,
Okay.
I see where we all need to be, and maybe the details ain't there, but I see how it's gonna be. And,
Kind of like Nighthawk.
something like that, I guess, or I don't know, but it's a little fuzzy for me. But I know, like, even going through this venture as entrepreneurs and stuff like that, we've been preaching this topic about for years, and we late in the game in my perspective, but it doesn't mean we can't catch up. And I know and I have ideas of what needs to be executed. It's just the action behind it needs work, but at the end of the day, it's like I know the potential in my team and people around me, and in my personal life, it's gonna get there. So I see what can't be seen and it's hard to see because of all the controversies and stuff like that. But I guess I'm not giving up because there's no choice.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess my power would be the power of perspective. Reason being is because most times when it comes to individuals, we lack other people's perspectives. We're so busy getting our point across that we don't really understand where the other person is coming from.
Right.
So with having that superpower, I think I could kind of be the medium in between, kind of, understanding one perspective from another and coming to a middle ground.
Right.
So that would
Right.
definitely be my superpower.
Yes. Thank you all for sharing. Because I do feel like not only do you have superpowers that are unique in each way, there's also a theme within it. And it's about like seeing something that's happening within your interaction. So I would encourage or challenge y'all if you could see how you could apply that superpower to what you do on a daily basis now. Because I could see how y'all can apply perspective at work, how you can see the goal, at the end of the day or at the end of the entrepreneurial year, and how you can observe the things that are going on that kind of keeps you on your toes. So.
About to start the Justice League. That's what we about to do.
Definitely.
But we're
Okay.
winding down on time and everything, so we gotta ask Nicole, what is in store for you?
And what's in store for me? I think the next step is deciding what direction am I going. So with mental health counseling, specifically with New York State, you have to have a PLLC versus an LLC, which
Explain that.
so basically, because we're providing a service that we can, bill with insurance and all the things, we have to differentiate between an LLC versus a PLLC.
Okay.
So if I were to do that, I have to say what my business name is, Mental Health Counseling, PLLC. So it's going to be specific to the things that I already do, which is the individual couples and family sessions that I provide. So it's either that or navigating through the LLC, which would allow me to, if I wanted to, just sell products or just like, just have the business umbrella without having it to be specific to the counseling that I already provide. So I
Gotcha.
have the ability to go two routes.
Right.
Just trying to decide which route I want to start with first.
All right. So what route really
I think
identifies you?
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
What route really identifies you?
I feel like both routes identify me, but I will say that I never saw myself as a business owner. Funny enough, like I know I went to school for psychology and mental health counseling. So even being called a business owner is still new to me.
Okay.
Because it's like, wow, in reality, yeah, like I see clients, I have
Right.
my own business on the side, and like I am literally living the life of my dreams, but I still don't consider myself a business owner. I just consider myself somebody who's passionate about mental health.
That's
and,
always good.
Bringing awareness. So one thing for me that maybe made me hesitant is I don't want to lose that passion. And once we add business to our passion, sometimes the lines get blurred. But I will say, identity-wise, going the PLLC route makes sense because it's basically another W-2 on,
How you put it, right?
like it just really works in the route that I
Right.
was going with what I've been studying and with what I've been passionate about. But ever since I even came up with the name Ginger Ale Won't Fix This, I've been like, yo, there's so much more. Like, yes, I do therapy, but also let's talk about why ginger ale doesn't fix this. Let's talk about all the things that fall under that umbrella. And that's where I'm like, what if I do both?
Okay.
So your own ginger ale shit.
She got the recipe.
Yeah, I got the recipe.
Shoot, if my ancestors bless me in a dream, I'll keep you posted.
It's like you said, SpongeBob, Krabby Patty. What's the formula?
Right.
Plain and always
You
trying to
see,
get that.
bringing it back to SpongeBob, drawing the metaphor. I love this. I love this for all of us.
Definitely.
Okay, so with that being said, like we trying to identify that. So what type of person that you really had to become to like get this up and running?
I would say I had to get in tune with my higher self. So I definitely identify as shy. And y'all could believe me or not.
The shots help.
Yeah.
The shots definitely do help. Ginger ale won't make me, open up. But I will say that I definitely had to like open myself to more experiences of like public speaking and being able to truly believe in myself. Like I studied this for a reason. I know exactly what brought me into this field, and coming from a space where I was literally told you're not going to have a job studying psychology to now literally owning my own business is just mind-blowing to me. So I had to truly believe in myself and connect the dots for myself and also trust the process.
Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up.
That's Steve. All this is great information. I guess my next question is, as I think we touched on it a little bit, but I want to dig in a little deeper. Therapy itself, people in our community and our culture, even these niggas. Do you think these niggas need therapy? But it is itself. But I'm saying in many words, it's like why people in our why do you feel like people in our culture, our demographic and community, everything? Why do you feel like we shun or run away from that? Like why is cultural belief so impactful on human progression? I feel like
I definitely hear what you're saying, and I would say what prevents us from applying those cultural differences to the things that we do? Like, in reality, do y'all run to go to the doctor?
I mean,
Half the time y'all are Googling stuff.
That's crazy.
I mean, low key. But yeah.
I'm
Right?
sorry, I run for the doctor for anything. My insurance good.
Period. And there's some of us, who may not have insurance or who may have like
Right.
a cap on how many times they can go to the doctor. So because there's certain things that are kind of pinned to being Black individuals, like heart health or high blood pressure, hypertension, all those things are associated literally just with the color of our skin. These are some of the reasons why we may or may not be as excited to go to the doctor. And the same thing is like going to therapy is similar to going to the doctor. It's a checkup, a check-in with your well-being. So navigating through all those stigmas of what prevents you from like talking to somebody is some of the things that help us to really navigate how we can find the help that's needed. And thinking of a stigma, just being like a Black Caribbean individual, we were told don't talk about your business anywhere, right?
True.
But in reality, like, there's so many things that protect you in the therapy room that allow you to talk about what's really bothering you and give you time to process, to have like a sounding board to figure out what are the things that can help you, even if it's not about finding a solution, but to help you release the feelings that are associated with whatever's happening.
Right.
Okay. So, thank you, Nicole, for joining us today.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate you and the gems that you was dropping.
Thank you.
Yes,
So-
indeed. Yes, indeed.
The episode was going on. Miss Khadijah.
Hold on, wait. Beforehand. You gotta tell them where they can find you at.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Where can we,
doing?
That's a
like,
fact.
feel
We
me?
gotta
Like,
lock
where
in.
can we find you at? Like,
I
Put you
guess.
on.
we
Let's
had
talk
Ginger
about
Ale won't fix this, but where can I go to get it fixed?
So, you can find me on Headway or on Psychology Side Today if you wanted to book an appointment or a session with me. But you can also follow me on Instagram at GingerAleWontFixThis.
Say it one more time for the people in the back, They may not rewind this.
Ginger Ale won't fix this.
Period. You can find me at GingerAleWontFixThis on Instagram.
Okay.
Definitely. That information will be in the bio of our YouTube video. You can check it out, like and subscribe. You can find us on Instagram at BC_official on Instagram.
She got the merch.
The merch.
Got the merch.
Feel me? She got the merch
Like
with
my
it.
name.
Check
Emo.
it out.
Get some more.
Check it
Just
out.
looks, guys.
Check it out.
So, right now we're going to showcase the artwork that Miss Khadijah has depicted. Miss Khadijah, are you ready? Oh, that's nice.
Ooh, and it's my favorite.
I ain't gonna
Oh, that
lie.
came in the dry.
Yeah, that's fine. That should
Straight
definitely go burp you up.
We did say something was bubbling today.
Listen,
Did we get a view of that property?
Definitely.
Definitely. Look,
Let's can you bring it back over here? So we
Yeah.
take a closer look.
a closer look.
Ooh.
Don't worry. The final props will be in.
Yes,
Bye.
yes. We'll showcase the final artwork when
This
everything
is
is done.
gorgeous.
Boom. Gotta love it.
Let Miss Nicole see what
Yeah,
that's.
look.
She taking it home with her.
It's
That want me Vanna White?
And the white is crazy.
All right.
I love this. It looks 3D.
Fire.
That's talent for real.
Talent.
Thank
Only
you.
one behind the canvas.
Only behind
All
the
right.
canvas.
So we're gonna holler at you guys next time. And remember, who put you on?
See ya.